Good afternoon, All Saints, and welcome to this slightly different episode of Lectio Divina. Usually I would be going through a Bible passage, explaining it and talking about the meaning of it. But today's slightly different. Rather than looking at a passage in the Bible, we're going to be reflecting on the life of Pope Francis, whose funeral was on Saturday just gone. So Pope Francis has sadly passed away, and though this is a moment of real sadness, it's also a chance to reflect on a life lived with extraordinary purpose. Let's reflect on his life, a life that touched millions across the world, but someone who stood for peace, compassion and hope. I remember the first time I ever saw him, Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio. Like many people around the world, never seen him before. You know, we knew some of the front runners who the media and the newspapers were saying might be Pope, but I'd never heard of this person. He was completely unknown. But very quickly, after becoming Pope, got a sense of really what he was like and just actually how genuinely inspirational he was as a person. So Pope Francis became one of the most recognisable figures on the planet. Not because he actually sought out fame or power, but because he led with humility. He chose to walk a genuinely different path from the very start. Instead of living in grand palaces, he lived in simple rooms. Instead of speaking only to the powerful, he went out to meet the poor, the sick, and those who felt forgotten by most of the world. He reminded people everywhere of all faiths backgrounds that every person has dignity and that kindness matters and that we should never turn away from someone who needs our help. He washed the feet of prisoners. He spoke with refugees. He embraced those suffering from illness. And this wasn't for headlines, but it was because he believed it was the right thing to do. He also challenged the world to care more about the planet. He called it our common home. He spoke out about climate change, inequality and justice, asking leaders from around the world and ordinary people to take responsibility to protect the earth, not just for ourselves, but actually for future generations, for you, and for the people who will come after you. And perhaps most powerfully, Pope Francis believed that no one is beyond hope. And that's why he came up with the year of hope that we have got running now. That even when the world feels divided or difficult, even when things seem broken, we can still choose love, forgiveness, and also understanding. In a time where it's so easy to focus on the differences, he focused on what brings us together, our shared humanity, our shared longing for peace, and our shared capacity to do good. That's what we should be doing as a school. Now, whether or not you're really religious yourselves, there's something in that message for absolutely everybody, Catholic, non-Catholic. He showed us that true leadership is not about titles, but it's actually just about service. That greatness is found not in being above others, but actually how we lift other people up. He reminded us that the quiet choices we make to be kind, to be fair, to listen, to include others are the things that actually truly shape the world. As we mark his passing, let's not just look back at his life, but think about how we can carry some of that spirit that he brought forward. Maybe it's about being more mindful about how we treat others. Maybe it's having the courage to speak up for someone who doesn't have a voice. Or maybe it's taking a bit more care of the world around us. So let's take a moment of silence now to remember Pope Francis, to give thanks for the hope that he brought into the world, and to consider how we, in our own way, can do exactly the same.